Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to tell you about, why you should forget starting a business and doing this instead. So recently, Neil was speaking at a little mastermind in Beverly Hills called War Room. And this was actually in his talk. And this is something we talk about from time to time. So Neil, what is the secret?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that starting businesses is one of the hardest things to do. That's why a lot of entrepreneurs fail and things are hit or miss. But if you just buy businesses that are doing somewhat well, it's much easier to grow them and make more money. And there's a lot of business owners out there who are just tired of their business because it's flat, or they just want to do something else because they're not passionate about it. So why not just try to buy a business instead? It's like so much easier than starting. Like, don't waste your time being a cool entrepreneur and try to create new ideas unless you're trying to do world-changing stuff like make people live on Mars. Instead, if you're trying to create a Me Too company, go buy one and then just grow it.
Yeah, I think for those of you that are starting out, absolutely start a business first, set your foundation, and then from there, figure out a framework. I mean, if you're good with that, you don't need anything else in life, that's fine, right? But if you're going for moonshots, if you have larger aspirations, then from there, put together a framework and start to figure out how you can start to acquire businesses. So here's an example for you. There's a site or a business called Income Store. You can go to incomestore.com, and they have over 800 websites. And then their model is basically buying other websites and promising a return to their investors. So those of you that are interested in that stuff, maybe you don't want to buy a business. Maybe you just want to invest in this guy. You can go ahead and do that. And their revenue, if you look at the Inc. 5000, has continued to climb over time. I think they did 28 million last year or something like that. Once they switched this model where they were just continuing to take a playbook that they had and then deploy it on new websites, it has worked out well for them.
Yeah, and when it comes to buying, many of you guys could be like, oh, I don't have the capital, so I can't end up buying. That's okay. A lot of people do seller-based financing, in which you can pay them monthly fees and you can take pretty much the profits and give them it there. Or you can do really creative things like, oh, you're spending X, Y, and Z dollars on credit cards. This is 10% of your expenses. Let me use a credit card that gives me 2% cash back. Like, you can do a lot of creative things to cut the cost and improve the profit. And that makes it easier to do seller-based financing and just pay them monthly fees until you're done for a few years. Heck, you can even do things where you buy out a portion of the company, like 10, 15%. And as it grows, you have the right to buy out the rest. So you can just put a clause saying, hey, I only want to buy 10%, but within the next 12 months, I want the option to buy the rest at this price.
Yeah, and some of you are probably wondering, well, it's easy for you guys to say, you guys know a lot of people or whatever. So how do you get the deals? How do you go about sourcing the deal flow? So here are some spots you can go to at least get started with this stuff. You can go to FE International. So that's Fred as in Frank, E as in Eric. FEinternational.com, and they have a lot of good content about buying businesses, how to value them, and things like that. So if you're looking to get your feet wet, check that out. There's also a site called BuyBizSell, I think. That's BUYBIZ sell.com. And then there's also Flippa, and then you have Empire Flipper. So those are just a couple spots you can go to online to get started, but that's not the only place you can source deals. You got to still continue to build relationships.
If you're looking for low-cost deals, so ones that don't do as much revenue and are cheaper to buy, you can find more of those on Flippa. Empire Flippers has a bit more ones that are expensive. And then when you go to like the brokerage firms like FE International, that's when you're looking at really expensive sites that get into the 6 figures or 7 figures. Rarely, but sometimes in the 8 figures. So depending on what your budget is, you probably want to start off with Flippa or Empire Flippers first.
Yeah, is there anything else to add around this?
Nope. Just look at really buying businesses. My favorite businesses to buy is blogs that have traffic but aren't monetized. You buy them and then you just monetize them.
Yeah, and when do you think people should start buying a business?
Once you've tested out that you can grow something, so it doesn't have to be your website. It could be you're a consultant for someone else and you know you can grow their traffic, figured out what you're passionate about. And once you've done those two things, go buy a site that you're passionate about. And then 2, use the skills you've had to grow other websites and just grow your own website.
Honestly, I mean, those of you that are listening to this podcast, I mean, this is one of the greatest skills you can have. You can literally, like a magician or a wizard, take a website that is failing, that's stress, and you can take a private equity model where you can just cut costs, or you can take the skills that you got from this podcast with just learning marketing in general, and you can grow it. That's such a, you combine these two in a, a 1-2 punch, you're going to be much better in a much better spot than most people. So check it out. I mean, continue to grow things on your own. And then once you're really confident in your skills, try to deploy this model and let us know how it works for you. But before we go to singlegrain.com/giveaway to check out our marketing tools to grow your business. And we'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.